Good evening, everyone. We welcome you to our July 14th committee meetings. We'll start off with our Justice Center Public Safety Committee. Mr. Tim Horner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll call the Justice Center Public Safety Committee to order. Anyone wishing to address may do so at this time. You'll have 3 minutes. Seeing none. Item 3, old business, there is none. Item 4, Justice Center project update. Jaron Walter, Burwell Construction.
Justice Center, didn't he?
It's not quite staying. Good evening. We hope you all are doing well. I don't think much has changed since our commission walkthrough last Wednesday, where we had an opportunity to walk through it and see the progress that has taken place. When was the last time we did a walkthrough with our commissioners? It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
Paid money.
I would think there was a substantial leap from the time that we looked at it to the time we saw it now.
I don't have it.
Walk through.
These photos that we have, these are just more reminders after what we walked through. There's not much that's changed. We did get to see some of the security systems that they are honing in at this time, where they're opening gates and you're seeing the different camera views and the intercoms operating. The courtrooms here, got to see the finished work beyond this screen and actually see the beauty of the casework that's there and the millwork, and it's just nice finishes in that space. The hallway there leading into the courtrooms, and then just a reminder of what all of this is for here. It was one of the pods that is completed and finished in the space there. That's all right. There's nothing else I was going to show.
Do you have a picture of the entry floor coming in? Because I have some questions when you get done about that particular part of it, please.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to throw up any pictures. At this point, we got to get them in early to get them up on the screen here.
Yes, sir.
So just to do a construction review, they're still doing security controls, install testing. We were seeing that in action while we were there Wednesday, actively testing and programming those different views and locations. The commissioning has been going on, taking place, commissioning of all the HVAC units. We're doing smoke purge testing. There's a second round that will be taking place here the week of the 21st, where they're finalizing all the smoke purge in the different zones that are within that space. The final test balances are being prepared. AV startup will be starting here shortly as well, here in the next couple of weeks. Just AV startup testing, verifications of all those components that are being used. Right now, our contractual value is still at $95,038,489.11. We did receive a pay app late last night, so it is being reviewed. Pay app 36, which is putting us at 99.58%. If all this is reviewed and approved to that point, which puts out $94,639,323.65 in place at this point. We are tracking for a substantial completion of August 22nd. And we've got a 2-month period beyond that to finalize all of the punch list items, get the owners onboarded, trained, ready for an opening, probably maybe as early as 1st of November, somewhere in there. So that'll be more pending on the county than it will be the contractor at that point. Any questions?
Mr. Gray?
Thank you, Commissioner. First question, were you going in? And because I know that where Kyle's office was on first floor, but where you go in, we went through a section down there, and I'm not sure what you call it exactly, but the walls looked like I had throwed filler on fire and just left it. It looked like it had not been sanded. Some of it looked like I took a BB gun and shot the rascal. I mean, it was pathetic.
Yes, I think I know where you're talking
when
about.
I-
Would this be level 0, lower
It's
level?
the bottom where we went in. I don't remember what they called it exactly, but we went straight in from the sheriff's department into it, just stepped directly in. There was a couple of walls down there, and I forgot the term they used, sir, but honest to goodness, I wouldn't have accepted that. And for $105 million, I don't think the taxpayers ought to have to accept
It
it.
hasn't been accepted. There are issues with some of the cast wall systems that are in there, the finishes that are included, especially in some of the holding cells that are in that location. The pitting that's in there, though it may be acceptable if it's being buried back, it's a finished wall. So it needs to be addressed. They've already been issued a notice on that prior to even us going out there. So a few weeks back, that was issued for them to come back, take a look, get their concrete contractor on board to verify and finalize a solution for that. So it is being addressed.
Okay, that's first thing. Second thing, from what I understand, and my vision's not perfect by any means, but there was a drop down in the floor, down in there from one side to the other. And it was obvious, to say the least of the matter. Will that be corrected?
You need to be more specific. I'm not sure.
Or if we go
what
back
portion
through,
of
I'll
the-
take my camera with me and I'll show you, if you'll give me that opportunity, and I'll make myself available at your convenience, sir, to do that.
Which level was it?
This would have been the one where you went through with what I call where they bring them in directly, the very bottom floor.
Sally Port, is that?
That may be what it's called. My apologies for my ignorance.
It's all right. Does it have an opening, door opening, like a overhead door that opens in that
We
space?
went through into them, yeah. But it looked pitiful. When I got to the first floor where they told me, and I'm thinking it's Captain Laws, and if I got my term wrong, correct me, please. The floor was cracking. I mean, it honestly looked like it was cracking. Will they fix that? Because, again, for $105 million, that's ridiculous.
I'm not sure which area you're discussing, but concrete cracks. Everything out there is per spec and structurally tested and verified. So everything in place is doing what it should be doing. Concrete's gonna crack. You try to mitigate as much as you can, it's still gonna crack.
Even before you even start using it?
Yes.
No offense intended, that's my money, it wouldn't be acceptable. And basically, it is my money because it's Hamblen County citizens' money. But it's unacceptable, completely unacceptable. Now, the kitchen looked great. Several of the offices looked fantastic. I did notice, and I think you addressed that question, the floors, I noticed blue tape in several places and what I call nicks. Or, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but some of them were as big as a quarter. They were obvious, even for somebody that wears bifocals like me. But they were there as well, and I think you said that they would be responsible for fixing that.
Yes, there's been nothing that's been accepted out there. There's still punchless walkthroughs that we've got to finish. We did a pre-punch just a few weeks back to get them on board for section C and D, which is courtroom areas. We did a pre-punch walk with them. They're not complete. There's things that need to be touched up and fixed. There's drywall pieces that need to be touched up, repainted, flooring issues that need to be addressed. That's all part of the process.
Well, now, the benches, and we were fortunate, and thank you for that. I think one of the courtrooms we went into, if I remember what Commissioner Harville, I apologize for the improper title, but Commissioner Harville told me, I think, 180 folks for that courtroom, because it was humongous. But some of the benches, for lack of a nicer word, looked like they had been scratched and so forth. Who will be responsible for that?
The contractor is responsible for any issues that are.
Okay. So they have to,
Then we take it on, and if we start onboarding at that point, once we accept and we start moving in after a substantial completion, and we do the dings, it'd be on us at that point. But right now, it's the contractors to fix and repair, and all that will be addressed.
before we go accept it, I'm assuming?
Yes.
One more question, and I'll leave you in peace.
Give me a. I think we got it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've had more complaints about that than I have anything from my taxpayers. One more question. Last time I asked, and I sent the mayor an email, but I didn't get a response. The team that's negotiating this for what I say, the things that shouldn't be Hamblen County citizens' responsibility. Any idea who's on the team? I asked the question, but I didn't get a response.
Let me address something. She asked about change orders. This is Jaron Dowalter with Burwell Construction. That right there is the man that change orders go through. Anything that happens comes through Jaron Dowalter, and I thought you knew that, and it was a rhetorical question. But this man is who is responsible for change orders that then come to this body for adoption. Nothing else. This man right here, our construction manager that we hired, is where change orders go.
Thank you, sir. And you reminded me of one more thing. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The change orders. I think I asked you were there going to be any more, and you said they were. What will they be?
I can answer that as well. We don't know yet. When they come, you will find out.
So you have no idea what kind of change orders are coming?
Not that they're finalized. There's issues that are going behind the scenes constantly, and responsibilities where they lie. So if it ever elevates to this level, it's been vetted by architect, by us, before it's even presented, so.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
Now,
Mr.
where you see
Commissioner
you over
Naismith.
there, Tim? I've got you said there'll be when you say the final walkthrough's gonna be?
It'll be section by section, but we'll be walking again this Thursday with the architect and some of its consultants to verify a few things. But there will be HJ reviews, there'll be other final reviews that take place, different testing agencies, local agencies that got to review and finalize. But we're on track to get a substantial completion for August 22nd is what they have given us.
August 27th.
Yes, sir.
So by that time, it should be ready to go. All the,
August 22nd, it's substantially completed. They've got a 2-month period beyond that to turn it over. So it's finalizing all of the punch list items that we've discussed, anything else that needs to be finalized, onboarding of the county into the spaces before it's operational. So there's a 2-month for a final completion after that.
okay, so all the scratches that we observed on the seats, that would be taken care of?
Yes, sir.
By August the 27th?
Well, it's got to be addressed, and once it's completed, it'll be accepted. So it could take place after that August 22nd, but we've got a 2-month period to get everything finalized. And that's including those. So those will be addressed prior to occupation.
Okay, will anybody in the county going through make sure it's already been done?
Yes.
Who will
yes.
that be,
And,
Tim, his crew?
Gino's been a big part of a lot of the walkthroughs, the architect, and myself. We are doing all of the punch list walkthroughs and items that need to be addressed.
I mean county government. We know Gino for the sheriff department's gonna do it. Do you have anybody from county government, the mayor, or somebody going through and make sure it's all up to snuff?
Yeah, it'll be approved. I don't know who all they'll
Well,
have involved.
once they
in
see
that.
it might be approved.
I'm sorry?
Once they see it, it may or may not be approved if county government.
No, it's got to be addressed. It won't be checked off until it's finalized.
That'll be after August, the 27th.
It could be before August and it could be after August. It just depends on the items. Let's say if a door is too irreparably damaged and they got to get a new one, it could be a lead time that's far out there that needs to be addressed. A temp would be put in place, new door would be brought in and placed when it's done, and then verified after it's been set.
I was just basing that on some of the seating in the courtroom had footprints all over it. I don't know, are they using that for a ladder to get up to do something, or why are they walking on the seats?
Yeah, they shouldn't be.
And,
That's-
oh, they shouldn't be, and why they got scratches on them? Those scratches won't go away by themselves.
It needs to be addressed.
They will be addressed for the 27th.
22nd is the
22nd.
substantial completion date.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Ms. Howe?
But the 103.5 million is not just for the jail. You know, the thing that, I mean, we have a two-pronged building, and that, you know, I think that's, you know, because when I first came on the commission, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, all that money for a jail, but it's not. It's a justice center and a jail, and I just need, that helped me to think, okay, it's not just a jail or just a justice center, and thank you for the tour and all the questions we had. I'm sure there was all the questions we had. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Thank you, Chairman. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. We'll now move to the Finance Committee, and I'll call on Vice Chairman Thomas Doty.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Anyone wishing to address this committee may do so now. Seeing none, we'll move forward. Item 3, you have your expenditure reports and your monthly checks. Hope everyone's had time to look over those. Old business, we have none. Item 5A, new business, resolution 25, A, resolution authorizing the Hamblen County Sheriff's Office to apply for the statewide school resource officer program grant in the amount of $1,350,000. Sheriff Chad Mullins.
I've already signed the MOU, and so has Superintendent Bunch. It's a standard MOU that's used from the state. It's the same one as last year. So that's already been done.
Any discussion on this matter? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Harville. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Any more, or any other discussion? Yes, Ms. Howell.
Yes, sir, thank you. I'd like to ask the sheriff, what do you think are your chances? 60, 70, 80, 90%
I don't know what,
of getting this grant?
we will get the grant. That's the $75,000 per school that Beverly.
Lovely, thank you. Thank you, sir, thank you.
And this is a non-matching funds. It is a 100% grant where the state pays for those officers. We have a motion and a second. We will move forward. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5B, Resolution 25 a resolution of Hamblen County, Tennessee, approving the issuance and sale of a general obligation capital outlay note of the city of Marshtown, Hamblen County. Mayor Chris Cutshaw and Mr. Chris Bessler, can you guys?
Absolutely. I'll just open the floor for Mr. Bessler. Actually, I'll just let him handle this. He's came up to update us on this procedure.
Thank you, Commissioners. Chris Bessler with Cumberland Securities, Knoxville, Tennessee. The resolution before you is for, I'm going to back up just a little bit. As you all know, the Hamblen County Morristown Solid Waste Disposal System has been undergoing an expansion to the landfill to greatly extend the life of the landfill from being just months from being used up to lasting a couple of more decades. The city and the county historically have issued any debt for capital needs for the landfill or solid waste disposal, and they've split that 50-50 since it's a 50-50 joint venture. Till recently, last year, in order to save on cost of issuance, Hamblen County took on the most recent debt issue of $6,290,000 all on its own, and the city of Morristown did not. That being said, it's still being paid for 50-50 from the revenues of the landfill by the city and by the county. Additionally, the county last year also did a small note capital outlay note for a shredder for the landfill. Now it came to our attention through the city of Morristown that the landfill needs a dozer for operations over there. They were offered a lease agreement on the dozer, but the interest rate on it was substantially higher than a capital outlay note that they could get, and it was also shorter, which required a higher annual cost to it, which would put stress on the tipping fees at the landfill. So the city asked what the options were, if we could do anything on that, and we said we can do just like the county did last year on the shredder, and the city could take on the cost of issuing this capital outlay note for the dozer. The amount is $600,000 on this. Splitting that into two issues and have the county do a $300,000 issue and the city do a $300,000 issue just isn't economically as advantageous as having just one of the two entities do it. The city of Morristown stepped up and said they were willing to handle the issuance of this note since the county handled the last couple. So this resolution puts the city's note that they're about to issue on parity with all the other debt issued for the landfill. It's similar to the resolution that the city adopted last year approving the county's debt issues for the landfill. So that way, all the debt issued for the landfill, whether it's by the city, whether it's by the county, everything's on parity with one another, and neither the city or the county will have their debt be at an advantageous position to the other, thereby resulting in higher costs. So this makes everything equal and fair. So that's a kind of big picture overview all the way down to the specifics of what this resolution accomplishes.
Thank you, Mr. Bessler. Do we have any questions? Yes, Ms. Green.
I have several. Thank you, sir. First thing, the way I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, sir. We will be responsible for 50% of that 600,000.
Through the tipping fees that the county pays.
Yeah, but we will be responsible for it. If the
No,
tipping fees don't meet it, we'll have to pay it, correct?
No,
Okay, explain.
the city's the issuer of the debt, not the county.
Okay. So we have no responsibility?
Correct.
County did the one for the city before.
Well, I realized that. That was that shredder that was expensive. Well, reading through it, when some of the wording in it, when it talks about the franchise taxes and so forth, and Hamblen City and Morristown and Solid Waste Board, it just leaves a lot of questions. Will that put our debt level at an outrageous amount? I know we've got and I still refer to it as the Taj Mahal because it's a sinking battleship, but I know we've got that. So where will that put our debt level if this goes through?
At the same level. This doesn't impact your debt level at all.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Ma'am.
Yes, Ms. Hyde.
Okay, thank you. I was intrigued by the landfill, you said decades. So, I mean, because it seemed like maybe last year it was imminent that we do something, and now, so we really have,
The expansion is to give the extra years of life to the landfill. So my understanding
Yes, sir.
was last year, there was only a year or two left of time left on the landfill, and expansion was needed quickly. So the issues that the county and city did in, I believe it was 2022 and 23 respectively, between the county and the city, took care of the first $9 million of cost on that. So they split that, and then last year, the county took on $6 million more for the landfill. And that was going to be split through interlocal government agreements between the Solid Waste Board in Hamblen County and the Solid Waste Board in the city of Morristown.
yes, sir.
And so originally, that $9 million was to expand the landfill or extend the life of the landfill another 14 years. That project got expanded by the addition of another cell located adjacent to actually expand it out to 24 years, I believe. So this is my understanding of it.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Harville. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Any more discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. With other items of interest in section 6, but no action necessary. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Doty.
Chairman, may I ask a question
Yes,
before you
ma'am.
go to the next one? This would be for Chairman Doty.
Yes, ma'am.
I reviewed Attorney Capps' bills, and I just have one that jumped out at me, and it was for the planning department, and it says bodies. So are we burying bodies out there now? It's 6/27, 2025, if our attorney be so kind. It says emails with Tommy McKinney, bodies. So have we got something new we need to know about?
That was a citizen's question about family cemetery plot that was directed to Mr. McKinney, and I do a little research before we can get back in on that. Gave him what he needed to give to the citizens so they would go forth and bury their body.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Capps.
Thank you.
That clarification.
Is that all we have?
Thank you.
Move down to the Personnel Committee. Again, I'll call on Chairman Thomas Doty.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I call the Personnel Committee meeting to order. Anyone wishing to address this committee may do so now. Seeing none, we'll move forward. Old business, there's none. Item 4A is the approval of education submissions. We have one associate. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Howe. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4B is approval of military pay submission. We have one associate there. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Howe. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, sir. Mr. Carden. Is there any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Doty. Moving on down to the Public Services Committee. I'll call on Chairman Mike Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I call the Public Services Committee to order. Anyone, visitors wishing to talk about agenda items only, they have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll go on to old business. We have none. New business, 4A, surplus items from Cherokee Park. David King, it looks like what they're doing is, they have requested to surplus a club car that has 3,022 hours on it, and that will go through the govbids.com. Do I have a motion?
Motion to,
Who?
motion to approve.
Motion approved, Mr. Harville.
Second.
Second, Mr. Walker. Any discussion? If none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by a like sign, the motion carries. Item 4B, Grasslands Environmental Information Letter and Resolution 25. It's a resolution to authorize Grasslands Environmental Non-Hazardous Liquid Waste Pretreatment Facility by the Hamblen County, Tennessee. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, this information came to us this morning. Actually, we'd heard about it last week, and it came to us to include in our packet. Basically, TDEC, Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, requires the county to sign off on such a facility, even though it's will be located inside the city limits, and Marshtown Utilities wastewater will be handling the effluent from this process. They gather fats, oils, greases, basically used to be a company called Valley Proteins that went around and collected this from restaurants but what it does, this process eliminates that before it's dumped into the wastewater system, which takes added stress on that system off. Therefore, the Chamber of Commerce is involved. They've helped them find the location. It's on Jeffrey Lane where they're going to build their facility. They've already got that worked out as far as their attachment to wastewater, Marshton Utilities wastewater. It's no cost at all to our county. It's just that we have to give them permission through TDEC. They've requested that we sign off on this process. Therefore, that's why we have this resolution. Is there any questions?
No questions. So, do I have a motion to, for this resolution?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Howe?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Howe, so moved. Second?
Second.
Mr. Walker? Any other discussion? If none, call for the vote. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the like sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Richardson. Move now to the Calendar and Rules Committee. I'll call on Chairman Thomas Doty.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Call the Calendar and Rules Committee meeting to order. Any visitors wishing to address this committee, they may do so now. Seeing none, we'll move forward. Item 3, old business, we have none. Item 4A is review of the regular calendar items. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4B is review of the consent calendar items. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Howe. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Reed. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Doty. Appreciate that. Appreciate your time and effort, commissioners. Turn over to Mayor Cutshaw. Needs to address a couple of issues.
So I'd like to address the commission on a couple of items that we have coming up and before us. Number one, y'all recall, we think December 2023, this body voted to move forward with a automated side-loading garbage truck. It's been that long, if you will, and we still don't have it. And it doesn't make sense. The word came from the Highway Department this week that it's still coming, but it's not here. But here's the thing. Superintendent Wise Carver drove down to Georgia, I believe it was, to a facility where they found another side-loading vehicle on site ready for purchase. This, it was a manufacturing plant that, from all indications, has as good a quality, if not better, than what we desired in the first one. It had several chassis on the ground ready to go, where we're being told they're hard to come by. There was 30 bodies on site, 30 plus. So the point is, they drove down there, toured this manufacturing facility, and realized this is a good purchase. So we had approved in our budget for them to move forward. And pending a PO, we could have a side-loading garbage truck, automated side-loading one-armed garbage truck within the month, after we waited more than a year and a half right now, possibly 2 years before we get the one we've already ordered. So the question begs, do we cancel that order? You know, that's being looked into. They drove down there and found this, and it to be all of it above board. You know, we're gonna be looking into, is that what we need to do? Cancel the first one and move forward with this one? There's all these promises. We don't understand all there's going on here. There's something's not right. When yes, ma'am.
I didn't want to, I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're
did interrupt.
fine, you're
Okay.
fine.
So I guess we need to ask our attorney that we haven't promised whoever, we said we'd love to buy yours. Have we promised or money to the other company?
This new one?
One who we don't know when it'll ever be delivered.
Well, we're under a contract, I think, as far as the purchase, but I don't know that we're bound to that contract.
Okay.
I don't know. We've been standing in line
Oh, I know.
for some time. It's really disappointing that Commissioner Richardson accompanied Superintendent Wisecarver to the factory. Mike, do you have any more to add to that?
So we drove down, this company's called Labrie, and they manufacture in Georgia. There was 647 chassis sitting on the lot, and we've been waiting on chassis for a long time. They manufacture the bodies there and assemble them there. The chassis that the one we're looking at buying is the same chassis that we ordered a couple years ago. Different body manufacturer, of course. All the functions are the same. Looks like the quality is equal to or better. They have, this particular distributor that we're dealing with has 31 or 37, I can't remember, automated side loaders sitting on their lots within 6 or 8 locations. They're a fairly good-sized distributor. But we're impressed with the quality and the service that these people are going to provide us, I think.
So, Commissioner, to answer your question, we're going to be looking into that.
Okay.
Okay? We're getting one possibly within the month that they've just now come across, and we've been waiting that long for the other. So, yes, ma'am, we're going to be looking into that.
One of the other things I'll say is that everybody that we've talked to is telling us we need to be careful about tariffs and, other items that are going to be added on to anything we order now. This company has on the ground, our truck, we're going to call it. And if we go to another factory or another manufacturer, distributor, they'll take 6 months or so for a chassis, another 3 or 4 months for the body. So it could be, Christmas or next year if we order this same thing we found on the lot. The next year's models are going to have a redundant diesel exhaust fluid emissions thing, and nobody knows how it's going to work yet. So everybody's a little bit skeptic of what's going to happen with the chassis. So I think we're in good standing with the one we're going to buy. I think it's a quality product.
Are we equal price or close or?
It's actually, and these are round numbers, the one that we have on order is like $409. The one that we are purchasing is $420. The one we had quoted from another distributor was $448. So it's about $27,000 cheaper than what we would have to order. This is the approved one that we just got, or that were approved on. So we're saving money. We don't know the outcome of any additional tariffs that might show up, and then we don't know what the redundant diesel exhaust particular will do to us.
One other thing I was just wondering is the one we have had on order since who knows when, but anyway, is it similar to the one the city? I was wondering if there's, okay.
Yeah.
That would be the only advantage I could see, but who knows when we'll get it, and you've got one sitting there. Goodness.
That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, there it
We'd
is.
love for them to go ahead and get that, get started, the efficiency that could create, and of course, they got to learn to use it, reroute. There may be some rerouting, and
There will
we'll
be.
never get away from total no rear-loaded garbage. We'll always probably have a need for that, but yet this could help with a lot of efficiency.
Yes, yes, sir.
The other thing is when we get this, we'd like for the commissioners to come out and put their hands on it.
Yeah, we'd like a ride, yeah.
Touch a truck.
Mr. Mayor, in the contract, and you may not be able to answer this, but was there a delivery date that they were supposed to meet? Was that the one that we
We've
ordered?
passed
to get-
that more than once. We have.
Be able to break that contract in. If they haven't,
Well,
if
no, I
they haven't
agree.
met their end of the contract,
Right.
we should be able to. Right, if you haven't delivered the product,
Well, that's something Commissioner Hartman will be checking into, because we've gone beyond that more than once, and they've asked for another premium a time or two. It just seems
of
like,
course they have.
you know,
Huh.
there's something weird.
Yeah.
I didn't don't quote me on that. Yeah.
Mayor, may I ask a question,
Yes.
please? You said they'd ask for additional premiums, so we've invested additional money with these folks that have delayed us
You know,
this long?
since, excuse me. Yeah, we've not given them anything, but I think they have requested it. Since you've been on as a commissioner, this has came through the body. And we've been alerted every time that it's been delayed. We were told this, and then it was moved to another date, and then another date. And again, we're standing here holding it with promises and no guarantee. So it might behoove this body, or at first, let Superintendent and Mr. Richardson do their work and see what's going to happen.
Right.
And let them report to us whether we move on from that contract, because I think he had a recent update that it could be this year that he gets that they get that truck. So,
Now, you're talking about the original one that they
yes,
ordered?
ma'am, the original.
Well, I'm like Commissioner Harville, not being smart aleck, but if they've had time to do it, I don't know how you folks do business, but if you fail to meet the contract I've got, I have the right to break it
Yeah.
and get out of it. Maybe we need to go back to our county attorney and put him on this.
Yes, ma'am, I'll repeat again, we are checking into that. Any other questions on that one?
One more, apples to apples, you said it was compatible, apples to apples?
Ma'am,
In
I
other
ha-
words, does it meet everything that was on the one that we
Yes.
originally looked? Does it address the convenience, the capability, and everything else?
Same same type side loader. This side loader seems to be a little more robust because it's not offset. Some of the efficiencies that they've built into this as far as cleaning, the truck, the grease points. You don't have to climb on the truck anymore. You grease them on the ground.
Accessible.
So you can actually operate the side loader if you need to on the seat, standing outside under the seat. So it's got a lot of positives to it. And according to, and of course, this is a sales thing, but this was a Canadian patent, and it was replicated in America by another company that, we deal with. So it's basically the same unit, just a
So
different.
engine capacity and so forth is
It's the same
attainable.
chassis. It's a
Okay.
Kenworth L770.
It's a good truck.
Any others? Yes.
Does that have a 12-foot reach?
It does have a
Arms?
12-foot reach. One of the things, and I'll just alert you so that you know, just like the city, these garbage cans are gonna have to be put in a particular place, because it goes out and grabs it and brings it in. And if they're too close together, or sitting by a car, or sitting by a mailbox, or something like that, so there will be a learning curve. So when your constituents call and say, hey, I got a problem,
Handle faces the house.
yeah, handle to the house. And one of the other things we're gonna have an issue with, just heads up, is, now some of our guys go down and try to help bring the cans up to the road. We won't be doing that any longer because we'll only have one, there'll only be one driver. So that's gonna be another hurdle. And it's not many, but it'll be something we have to address.
So one more question, then you brought something to my mind, because there's several older taxpayers in the districts that I'm in, the district I'm in, let me correct myself. So how we educate them, because I know and I've had more complaints this week about the bulk pickup than I would care to discuss, because I've gotten plumb frustrated with it. So how do we educate them
So
better than
we'll
what
have
we
to
did
have
with
a-
that?
We'll have to have a mailing and some education to it, and some stickers on the can, of course. But, and on the bulk waste side, it's taken about 8 weeks to get around the circuit right now. Just so much trash, and everybody's cleaning house, it seems like, and trees.
Well, lots of picnics and all that.
Also, the new truck will be mostly in subdivisions.
Yes.
I can't hear him.
The new trucks, we're gonna try it out on a subdivision and see what the efficiencies are. Hopefully, Monday's route we'll be able to bleed over into Tuesday's route because of the efficiencies, and we'll just grab, we'll have to adjust our routes quite a bit, but that'll be a learning curve and
Mr. Mike, now this is the one, refresh my memory. This is the one where you only go down one side of the street at a
Yes.
time? You can't, shall I say, zigzag back and forth?
you one side.
And then you have to turn around, double the whole side back on the other? Is that going to be? I'm
Well,
gonna
the
throw-
city, we've talked to the city, and there's some things that, we could probably do to help that, but right now, it's down one side and back the other.
Will that increase your fuel quite a bit? Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, we do that anyway, so in places. Sometimes we don't go back and forth depending on the traffic, so.
I just saw that happen. I was out and I thought, wow, what's that garbage truck? And then he backed up. It was a city truck, the one arm thing. And he backed up into the road, everything was clear, and then he just went right down that same street on the other side. And I thought, okay, that's how they're gonna do it. So that's what they'll do, I guess.
Yeah, the process is much quicker, so you won't be idling as much and sitting as much, so. The theory is that it saves time and, fuel and all that.
And also could save an employee.
Yep. Employee costs.
It's not that anyone's gonna lose a job here, but
We'll be
you
able
may
to
not
transfer
replace one.
employees to another, position.
Yes.
Very good.
And correct me if
So-
I'm wrong, Mr. Richardson, but I think this is supposed to pick up, close to 25% more in a day as far as numbers of cans, I think from 600 to 800.
Yeah.
Something like that. So basically, your truck's still running the same amount of hours, so you're burning generally the same amount of fuel. Yes, you burn a little more when you're traveling versus idling, but the truck's running the same amount of hours and getting
More
25% more
Production, yes.
production, so very helpful.
I have one other thing to bring attention to this body. I don't recall how many commissioners were there. It was a joint meeting of the Hamblen County School Board and Hamblen County Commission. We went to get an update on the Energy Efficient Schools Program. Anybody attend that? Yeah. Hopefully most of us did. I know there was a majority of commissioners there that night. I don't recall who all they were. But what that is a loan through the train company. It's under a Tennessee code. There's a law that all this is above board. And what it is, they borrow in this case it'd be $5 million, $4.9+ million, 1.5% interest over a period of 16 years. They borrow that money. Train makes the payment on the savings. Okay, it runs through the school board, but it has to come through our body that we acknowledge this. This debt will come through this body at no cost to us. There is zero cost. However, we are the securer of the debt. If something were to go sideways, Hamblen County is the holder of that debt. Yeah, that's why we have to do this. But what will happen? This all came about last week. There was an approval on July the 7th that this is going through. So there's a 6-week window that they're trying to meet to keep from possibly labor or material cost increasing. So when you think about 6 weeks, we were hoping to have it in our packet today. It did not come. We've got to have a loan agreement, loan rules, attorney's opinion letter, and a resolution that will pass through this first the school board and this body. So all we're trying to do here is meet a time limit where they do not incur additional cost. That's what it is. It's if you were at that meeting, you got the bulk of this information and understand what's going on. So the Superintendent Bunch received this on July the 7th. He contacted us that day. It's in process. But between our attorneys, the school board attorney, our attorney, the resolutions, and the coming from train company, it is not in hand. What I do expect is to have that before the week's out, possibly, and I'd love to send that to the commission for y'all to consider for our meeting next Thursday. That's in order to meet, try to be helpful, be a good neighbor, that kind of thing, to meet their deadline, what they're asking for, to avoid increasing labor or material costs. Is there any question? Yes, ma'am.
We have no liability whatsoever, sir?
If the loan were to default, yes, we would. But this is a guaranteed, again, it is all through the Tennessee Code that this is a normal practice. Train guarantees these payments and on just the savings. In other words, I hope to do it for our county at some point, you know, to go through our buildings and also look at energy efficient programs where we can also benefit from that program. But the school system is doing that. They have a much larger capital outlay than we do. Largest capital outlay in the whole county is the school system, and therefore what their project is going to be right at $5 million.
This is, if I can, this is done with a lot of school systems because of the number of buildings they have. They go in and do all new lighting, heating, air, everything, and how the payments are made is through the savings that are made through the electrical savings and everything.
If there are any.
There will be. I guarantee you there will be.
They're guaranteed.
They're guaranteed.
Yeah, they're guaranteed. And had you been at that meeting, May, I don't know if you were there, Commissioner, or
I
not.
didn't, I wasn't able to attend. I had other
Okay.
responsibilities.
I understand. Well, that was a big one to miss because it was very informative. There's a packet out there that they handed out that night that it explains most all of it. He went through it that day, but that I don't even remember when that date was. Seemed like it might have been back in February when February, March that we had that, but wanted to alert this commission that could come to us to include in our agenda next Thursday.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thomas Doty.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to take a minute and discuss something that a lot of people are not been really aware of on the commission, and kind of a thank you to someone. Well, one of them's already left, I think, but that I was going to add into this. A lot of people don't realize, but for many, many, many years, our rescue squad did the parking and everything for the 4th of July at the park. This year, at a very close date to the 4th, they decided they weren't going to do it any longer. And that fell on our sheriff's department. Instead of paying overtime, our sheriff and our chief deputy took their time that we're not paying them extra for to go out for 12 hours in that heat and park cars. Then, not long ago, had an air conditioning unit fail at the Justice Center, a big one. And they were having to transport numerous female prisoners to other areas. Again, instead of paying overtime and requesting more money from us, our sheriff and our chief deputy, and I believe Captain Cribley even helped on that some, stepped up and went in and did this work themselves that we're not paying them extra for to help out the county and to keep overtime down. Now I want y'all to think about that. the next time that someone wants to go on salary instead of being paid overtime, and then they get bashed for it. That's ridiculous. They're doing us a service, and it was a disservice to them to call them out on that. I thank you, gentlemen, for what you do for our county. I thank you for going the extra mile. We do appreciate it.
More than a mile. We do
Come on.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Chairman Hahn,
Yes.
if I may, he raised something that I'm curious about. He said the big air conditioning unit went out over there?
Said a big air conditioning unit went out.
Okay. All right, that's something that I'm assuming, sir, that'll be coming to the county?
I have no idea.
Well, that was my question. I'm curious, because those are high-dollar cookies.
You are correct. It is a high dollar cookie. We had a air conditioner unit fail, and there's no other way to do it but to replace it. It was already in failure mode. Our superintendent of maintenance, Terry Myers, had been patchworking this one for some time, but it failed and dramatically failed. We think it was a failure. There was an incident with the power going on and off, and it toggled, I think, the compressor a few times, and it's a catastrophic failure. So there we were with no air in the women's annex. I think there was about 75 inmates at that time, 70 inmates at that time that they had to scramble to take care of. And first there was temporary air conditioning units brought in. It did not work. It did not. I think it was in the 90s ambient temperature on that floor, and obviously we can't do that. So with their relationship these guys have with surrounding counties, they were able to move inmates to 3 different counties, and I think maybe patchwork keeps some of them here. Yes. But in that, imagine this. It was an emergency failure. It just happened. Now they're having to spend more time back and forth in transports just because they're in 3 separate counties around here. So they're keeping the roads hot right now doing their job. But you're absolutely right. That was a catastrophic failure that we have no choice but to fix.
What type of dollar value are we looking at, sir?
Well, right now it looks to be, excuse me?
I said it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well,
but-
it does to the taxpayers, darling.
Well, no, I understand it probably matters
It
to
has
what
to be
that
done. I
is,
know that, but I'm
it's a
curious.
figure we can't get around, and it's right at $70,000.
Huh?
Yeah, it's right at, excuse me, plus personnel cost. Yes. But a lot of that is labor intensive. They got to take the old unit out. They got to take it apart to even remove it, and then the new one has to be broke down and installed with some new ductwork along the way. But it's in an area, I'm talking about the annex, but this annex will still be used for different things, and it has to have conditioned air. It's one of those things we have to do. And under the circumstance, we had a provider already in place, emergency situation. They jumped in and they're taking care of it. But yes, it's around
Now, they
70.
will take care of it, if I understand you correctly. They'll go ahead and fix it.
Yes, yeah, they're
Replace
fixing
it.
the problem.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
poor choice of words, Mr.
That
Mayor.
is correct.
Replace it. I
They are
think it's
fixing
great.
the problem. Yes, ma'am.
One more thing, Chairman Hahn,
Yes.
if I may, please. I'd like to address what Commissioner Doty said. As a elected commissioner for Hamblen County, it is my right to ask questions, and when it comes to taxpayer money, I feel my responsibility to question big-ticket items, and if it insults some of you, I apologize that you take it that way, but I intend to represent my district well.
I'd like to readdress. My comment was not meant about questioning. My comment was meant about darling.
Oh, okay, you should have made it plainer. Thank you.
I did.
Mr. Chairman, let me just say something too. I had the opportunity to attend the active shooter exercise that the Sheriff's Department put on at East High last week, and it's amazing. I feel a lot better knowing that our officers are capable of reacting and doing what they need to do during, hope we never have one. But it was pretty impressive.
question, was that active shooters for the school, sir?
Yes.
Yes, SROs. I'll just add to what Commissioner Horner
Please.
just brought out. Some Navy SEALs that live nearby did tactical training they'd come up with a scenario and they'd have the SROs down here 2 to 4, 3 at a time, something like that. And they give them a scenario and here it goes. It's just like an active shooter in the hallway shooting off and then hiding. So how do they attack this and come to a solution, a dissolution or something? What's the word? Ending, yeah, come to a
Favorable ending.
favorable ending. But it was, as Commissioner Horner said, it was impressive. I had the opportunity to be there as well.
Thank you. Yeah, we do appreciate that. I've heard nothing but positive reports on those, and that gives you a good feeling. I have a lot of grandsons in the school system, so I definitely want them protected. It's good. Just a few items to mention here before we leave. We do have our regular commission meeting on July 24th. It'll be right here at 5 o'clock. You noticed Commissioner Huntsman was not in attendance. He's receiving some treatment. Can't be more specific than that, but he just wasn't feeling up to it, and he was unable to attend. We have some more family members here. Thomas Stody will not be at our next meeting, our regular commission meeting on the 24th. He's going to have shoulder replacement surgery, so we will keep him in our prayers. And then our very own Trish Bowman on the 17th, which is this Thursday, will be having cataract surgery. So again, our prayers will go out to her and her family. So keep those things in mind, because these people work diligently, they work hard, and they are part of our family here, and we do need to reach out to them. I think that wraps us up for tonight. All minds clear? We're adjourned.